We were discussing about the second order system response of a second order system. So where we could use the terms like damping ratio, natural frequency, and all those. So let's take an example of a third order system and see if it is applicable for this damping ratio and the natural frequency. In the last class, we discussed that whatever we discuss about damping the ratio and the natural frequency is for the second order system only. Okay. Suppose if you have a system having the transfer function s plus 2 divided by s square plus 2s plus 4 multiplied by s plus 10. Okay, so this is the transfer function where how many poles, how many zeros? In this one?
3 poles and 1 zero, sir.
3 poles and 1 zero. Okay, fine. Now, what I want to do is, what is the order of the system?
Third order, sir.
Third order. Okay, so this damping ratio and natural frequency I'll not be able to apply. Okay, so it has to be a second order system. Now, before doing anything, let's look at the root locus of this. Okay, let's look at the root locus. So this is the root locus of the plot. Okay. Yeah. So you have 3 poles here too, and this is 1 pole. Okay. So if you move these, if you can just change the gain, if you look at the gain of the system, okay, the pole position is changing. Okay, so you can see that the pole position is changing, and also here is 1 pole which is going to the 0. This pole is going to 0, and these 2 poles are going to infinity. Now there may be a situation where the poles are actually going towards unstable. Okay, so this is actually what kind of a system is this? This is a stable system because everything is on the left side. Suppose if you have a system which is with increasing k goes outside, goes on the right side and makes the system unstable, that is also possible. Okay, so here in this case you don't see that. You see that these 2 poles go to be infinity. Now what we need to do is, so these are the 2 poles, and this is 1 pole over here, and this is 1 0 over here. So we cannot use the concept of the damping ratio or the natural frequency in this. So we need to reduce this to a second order system. Okay, how do we do this? How do we do this? Is suppose if you look at the plot once again, the pole which is far away from the imaginary axis is this one. Okay, it is having the pole root of -10. Okay, so the pole which is very far away from the imaginary axis will have less influence on the response of the system. Okay, so this is a point which I'm making. The pole which is far away from the imaginary axis has less influence on the response of the system. Okay, the more the pole is on the left side, the less its effect will be on the response of the system. Response means output. Okay, so response includes rise time, overshoot, steady state error, and all those. Okay, the peak time and all those, settling time. So the more the poles are away from this imaginary axis, the less its effect will be. So why are we discussing this is, we want to, we know that this is a third order system because there are 3 poles. So order of a system is decided based on how many poles are zeros, whichever is greater. Here poles are greater. Here poles are greater, 3 poles and 1 0. So this pole is far away from the imaginary axis. So this can be ignored. Okay, so it's not going to affect the system response. So you can ignore this pole. What do you mean by ignoring this pole? You are removing this pole means what happens to the order of the system? It changes from third order to second order. Okay, there are only 2 poles remaining. If you remove this pole, then there will be only 2 poles. So you can use the damping ratio and the natural frequency concept. So how do we remove this pole? Okay, how do we remove this pole? So can I just say, so this is a second order system and this is a third order system. Okay, I want to remove that pole there. So which is that pole? It is s plus 10 or s is equal to minus 10. Okay, I want to remove that. Now I rewrite this equation in the second order system. S plus 2 divided by s square. This I can copy. Okay, now I leave out this s plus 10. I leave out this s plus 10 and then I make this as a second order system. I left out this s plus 10 because s is equal to minus 10 and minus 10 is very far away from the imaginary axis, and based on what we discussed, it's not going to affect much on the response of the system. Okay, so let's compare the step response of this third order system and the second order system. Third means third order, second means second order. Okay, so we'll look at the step response. Okay, so I have to say here it's the third order I want to see, and also I want in the same graph, so I use the command hold on. Okay, if you want to plot 2 curves in the same figure, you use the command hold on and then plot step second. Okay, the second order system and the third order system in the same graph. All we have done is we have just removed this s plus 10 over here and said this is a second order system, this is a third order system. Now let's see this step response. So do you see it as equal? Do you see it as equal?
No, sir.
No? Anybody saying yes? Okay, this this red color is this third order system, and the second one is this blue color. Okay, so it's not the same. It's not the same. So how do we make it same? How do we make a third order system equivalent to a second order system? So let's discuss that. Are you able to see the PPT?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this g of s is equal to, I'll write the same transfer function only, s plus 2 divided by s square plus 2s plus 4 multiplied by s plus 10 was there. So this is a third order system. Okay. I wanted to make it as a second order system. S plus 2 divided by, I write only this term, s square plus 2s plus 4. Okay. Now I want to make this as equal, but we saw that it's not equal. We looked at the step response of these two things and it was not matching. Okay. So what is the problem is, whenever you are changing a third order system into a second order system, you need to multiply the second order system with a gain k. Okay, you need to multiply something here to compensate for this thing being removed. Okay, yeah, removed this s plus 10 over here, so you need to add some k gain, okay, to this second order system. If you multiply some gain, will the order of the system change?
No, sir.
It doesn't change. Okay, so order of the system remains the same. So what you need to do is you need to find this k. Okay, I'll tell you the procedure of how to find this k, but exactly why we do that we'll discuss in some other class. Okay, put this s equal to 0. Okay, put s is equal to 0. The reason for that I'll tell after a few classes. Okay, so it will be 2 divided by, what will be here? Put s is equal to 0. So it will be 4 into 10, correct? 4 into 10. Do the same thing on the right side as well. K into 2 divided by, what will be here? 4. So what is the value of k? Can somebody find out and tell me?
K will be 1 by 10, sir, 0.1.
K will be equal to 0.1. Okay. So what we have done is, we have written a third order system here. We have written a second order system by eliminating this root over here. And then to compensate this, we put a k over here. And then we said we put s is equal to 0 in LHS and RHS. Okay. And then we find the value of k. Now, I've got this k equal to 0.1. I go back to MATLAB and put this k. Where should I put k? I should put k here in the numerator, right? 0.1. Okay. This is k into s plus 2 divided by s square plus 2s plus 4. Okay. So if I run this now, so is it approximately same?
Yes, sir.
Okay, it's not exactly same, but it is approximately same. Okay. So why are we doing this? Any idea? Why do we want to convert a third order system into a second order system?
So that with just damping factor and
Yeah. So the idea here is, suppose you don't have MATLAB. Okay, these are concepts which are relatively old. Okay, these are concepts which are relatively old when people were trying to understand what is control system and develop control systems for different applications. When they didn't have computers, when they didn't have MATLAB, so what they did was they understood how the second order system responses with the help of damping ratio and natural frequency. We did in the last class. We could find out what is the rise time, what is the percentage overshoot, what is the peak time, what is the settling time. Also, you have a formula. Okay, so these are some things you can find out without MATLAB, right? So if you have a system, if you have a second order system, you can find out the response of the system for that step input. So it was easier to do without the MATLAB or any other software alternate to MATLAB. So that's the reason why they wanted to convert a third order system into a second order system. Okay. Now with MATLAB, whether it's third order or fourth order, doesn't matter. You get the step response for any kind of system. Okay, any order of the system, you can get the step response. You can get the info of what is the overshoot and all those things you can get in MATLAB. But without MATLAB, if you have to do, the only way to do is reduce that higher order system into a second order system, and then use. Now you can tell me how to do this, how to find the damping ratio and the natural frequency in this. S square plus 2s plus 4. You know this, right? How do you find out? What is omega n here? Yes. What is omega n here?
Omega n is 2, sir.
Omega n is 2. Okay. So s square plus 2 zeta omega n s plus omega n square. Okay, that is of that form. So s square plus 2s plus 4 should be written as
S square plus 2 zeta
Plus
omega n
2
s
zeta omega ns plus
omega n s plus omega n square.
okay. So this is how you find out zeta and omega n from this. Once you know zeta and omega n, you can find the step response of the system. Okay, so this is how you do this. Okay, so this is simpler one. The only thing what you need to understand here is which one to eliminate. Okay, so which root to eliminate. Because this pole is far away from the imaginary axis on the left side, okay, it should be on the left side. The root which is on the left side, which is far away from the imaginary axis, can be eliminated. Okay, so its effect on the system response is not going to be much. Okay, that's the idea. Now, if you have to remove this s plus 10, you have to have some gain multiplied for this. Okay, you just can't remove s plus 10 and say, okay, I've got a second order system. Okay, you need to multiply that with some k. So as we did here. So as we did here, you need to multiply with some k value to make this thing equivalent to this thing, almost. Okay, I don't say exactly, approximately equal to. Okay, what if this is for example, let's change the value here. I'll take it as I'll take it as s plus 3 here. Okay, this one is s plus 3. Then what will be k? This will be 3. Okay, this will be 3. And what will be k? Instead of s plus 10, I am putting s plus 3. Okay, so what will be k?
It will be 1 by 3, sir.
1 by 3. Okay.
0.33.
Okay. So now let's look at this response. Sorry, go to the MATLAB. Okay. Instead of s plus 10, I am taking s plus 3 there. And then now what do I do? Instead of 0.1, I put 1 by 3. Okay. And then run this. What was the mistake?
You need to close the brackets in the numerator and the whole. Yes, sir. After 1 by 3, there should be another bracket.
Okay. Okay. So is this fine or this is fine now? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So here, if you look at the, is it fine now? Is it fine now? It's not so fine, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
The
Lot of difference.
difference is more. Okay, it's not even approximate. So what are you able to understand from this is s plus 3, it's only 3. Okay, it's not very far from the imaginary axis. Okay, but if you have s plus 10, then it is far away from the imaginary axis. Okay, if you you understand this, right? If this is 3 is a smaller number, okay, compared to 10. So since s is equal to minus 3, it's not very far from the imaginary axis. Okay, so its effect is going to be much more for the response of the system than what it will be for s plus 10. Okay, so s plus 10 will not have much effect. When I change it to s plus 10, I have to change the gain also correctly. Okay, it is 0.1. Now if I run this, I'll get the response which is approximately equal. Okay, which is approximately equal. Suppose I have to find gain each time. Okay, I'll make this 15. Say, can somebody find out for 15 what is the gain?
It will be 1 by 15, sir.
1 by 15. Okay, I change it to 15 and make this 1 by 15. So this is much more closer.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so the more the far away the pole is from the imaginary axis, less role it has to play for the response of the system. Okay, so that is what I'm just trying to tell you. So the only use of all these things is if you don't have MATLAB, people did not have MATLAB when they developed control systems. When they came up with the theories of control engineering, they didn't have any tools like MATLAB or even computers. Okay, so they had to depend on the hand calculations and so on. So that's the reason why there is a concept like how do you reduce the third order system to a second order system. Okay, so otherwise if you have MATLAB, it doesn't give much of importance, but these things are to be known because you should know how the control theory evolved. Okay, how people were able to do these things without MATLAB during those times. So that will help. But uh, yeah, when you have access to MATLAB, then you can directly get the step response for higher order systems. Any questions in this? Any doubts? Any doubts? Have you all understood the how to approximate a third order system into a second order system?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, suppose I take up another numerical. Okay, these are just to know how people were using these things. Okay, may not be relevant in today's world, but it's important to know the history a bit. Some of the things I leave out, but some of the things are required to know how the control engineering theory has come up. So if this is a third order system, okay, previously it was clearly this was a second order system and this was a first order system. So multiply, you get a third order system. But in this case, what you do, how do you find out um, how do you find out the step response of this system? If I say find out the step response of the system, how do you find out? Yes,
Locus we can plot, sir.
you need to change this. What? Yes, we are not supposed to use MATLAB. Okay, the whole idea of today's class is like how the theory evolved when there was no MATLAB and access to computers, access to MATLAB. Okay, so can somebody think of how to reduce this to a second order system?
By taking S common, I think.
What? I didn't get it.
By taking S common outside, I
Yes, common. Uh, Another method would be to write the second order system, okay, 2 zeta omega n s plus omega n square multiplied by s plus something, a pole. Okay, this is a second order system. Okay, this is similar to what I have written here. Okay, this is second order system, this is a first order one. Okay, this is second order, first order. So similarly, I am writing this third order into a second order and a first order. Okay, what is P? I don't know. Okay, what is P? I don't know, but I know it is of this form. Any doubts in this?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, so now I'll multiply these things. Okay, multiply this bracket and this with this. Okay, so I'll get s cube plus s square p plus 2 zeta omega n s square plus 2 zeta omega n s p plus omega n square s plus omega n square p. Okay, so now equate these terms. Okay, so what do you mean by equate? Before that, I'll write this s cube plus 2 zeta omega n plus p. Okay, s square. I'm just collecting the terms. 2 zeta omega n p plus omega n square s plus, what is the term left, omega n square p. Okay, so equating this side and this side. Okay, so what do you get? This is 24.2 s square and this is 2 zeta omega n plus p into s square. Okay, so 24.2 is equal to 2 zeta omega n plus p. Okay, next is 109s and this thing. Okay, 109 is equal to what is this, 2 zeta omega n p plus omega n square. Next is what is the next equation? It is 500
300
is equal to omega n square p. Okay, we have three equations. How many unknowns?
3 unknowns, sir.
Three equations, three unknowns, you can solve it. Okay, so because of time limitations, I'll just write the answer. P is equal to 20. If you solve this, you'll get this. Okay, omega n is equal to 5, zeta is equal to 0.42. Okay, so you have three equations, three unknowns. If you solve this simultaneously, you will get this answer. You can try this later, probably sometime. Now, once you have this omega and zeta, can you find the response of the system? You can do this, right? You can do it. Once you have omega n and zeta, you can find the rise time, percentage overshoot, the settling time, peak time, and all those things. Okay, with the formulas, you know the formulas, so you can calculate that. Now, how do I write this thing in the form of a second order system now? Can somebody tell me? You know omega n and zeta. Okay. Can you come up with the second order system? Another 5 minutes is there. Can you quickly come up with the second order system for this? Just substitute the zeta and omega n and tell me what is this thing.
There will be s square plus 4.2s plus 25.
S square plus
4.2s
s
plus 25
25.
into s plus 27.
Okay, this is what you are removing, right?
Yes, sir.
You are removing this. P is equal to 20, so it will be very far. So S is equal to minus P. Okay, S is equal to minus P. So 20 minus 20 is very far from the imaginary axis. So we'll assume that. And S square plus 4.2s plus 25. What is the K value to be multiplied to come with this thing, to use this as a alternative for the third order system? So what are you supposed to do for that? Just that you need to put s is equal to 0 in this case. Or if you put s is equal to 0, what do you get? 1 by 500, correct?
Yes, sir.
100 is equal to k divided by, here it is s square plus 4.2s plus 25.
25, sir.
Okay, so you get 25. What is k equal to?
0.05, sir.
0.05. Any doubt in this?
No, sir.
Okay. So let's try this out in the MATLAB to see if these two things are same. Okay. So what is this third one? It is Third order is third order is 1 divided by, okay, s cube plus 24.2 into s square, okay, plus 109 into s plus 500. Okay, so this is the third order system. What is the second order system for that? It is what is the second order system for that?
1 by
1 by 20.
S.
1 by 20. 1 by 20 you should have, no? K.
Yes, sir.
1 by 20. Then
S square
s
plus
square plus
4.2 S
4.2 s
plus
plus
25.
25. Okay, so let's run this and see. So you see this,
Yes, sir.
it's approximately equal. Okay, so in the first problem what we did was, it was already divided, okay, it was separated, okay, it was separated into a second order system, second order and first order, so multiply you get the third order. So this is a second order and this is a first order, so you know what to eliminate here, so it was easy. In the second problem, it was a combined one, so you didn't know how to what to eliminate, so you wrote it in the second order form, second order system form, and then added another first order to this, s plus p you don't know, and then you just equated these things, you get three equations and three unknowns, you solve for this, you get these things. Once you get that, you know what is this equation, and then find out k by putting s is equal to 0, okay, k you got as 0.05. The same thing you check with the MATLAB to see if it is working. So 1 by 20 is nothing but 0.05. You can put as 0.05 or 1 by 20. And then you compared the third order system with the approximated second order system and found to be approximately equal. Okay, these are not exact equal, these are approximately equal, and this is done to the benefit of calculating the system response through hand calculations. If I say s square 1 divided by s square plus 4.2, it's not 1 divided by, it is 0.05 divided by s square plus 4.2 s plus 25. Okay, what is the second order system equation now? It is 0.05. It is 0.05 divided by s square plus 4.2 s plus 25. Okay, this is the approximated second order system from which you can calculate. You have already calculated the zeta and omega n. You know the formulas for rise time, percentage overshoot, peak time, and all those. So you can get the response of the second order system very easily by hand calculations. So this is how people were reducing a higher order system into a second order system and getting the step response without use of MATLAB, because there was no MATLAB during those times. Any questions? And
No, sir.
if a question is why should I learn this now, it is just to know how people were doing it. Okay, a bit of history is will improve your control engineering theory. That's why this discussion today. Okay, we'll stop here. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, bye.